hourly rate for their training, just to make sure it's clear. Is there support on that?
Support.
Okay, motion's been made and supported. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Alright, thanks again, Ginger, for all of the hard work and team. And we will move into the fire district report, which Ginger attended her first meeting as the liaison here a few days ago or so.
That was an experience. Let's see. The first order of business was they appointed a 9th member of the fire board, a member at large, and they appointed Todd to the fire board as a member at large. And then, the fire chiefs gave their reports. And there was Cato, Hinton, Pine, Winfield, and Maple Valley. Sometimes I think we forget that there's all those in the district. And so each one of them had a list of their different, calls that they went out on. 7 runs made in Cato Township for month of June and July. And some of them were, for all of these, vehicle accidents. I think everybody had a vehicle accident. Fire alarms, power line downs, grass fires, illegal burns, lift assists. So there are all kinds of different calls that they get called out on. And they had 4 mutual aid calls, and that's when, like Belvedere or something might have something that's big and they need some help. So, they had 2 mutual aids for Belvedere, one from Montcalm Township and one from Morley. And they tried to print out this really neat picture of, one of the new tender trucks, or we used to call them tankers, because they're a truck that just carries water. It's sort of like a milk truck, big tanker truck. And they had ordered 2 of them. And they're in now, but they are getting, all of the decals and everything put on them. They look really, really nice. And they sold one of the old tankers, and they're putting the other one up for sale, but they don't want, obviously they can't get rid of them until they get the new ones in. So they're in the process of doing that. And, let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, I know. Arnie Kempton attended the meeting. I didn't know Arnie was gonna be there. He didn't know I was gonna be there. I think he was on the original board that started the fire district. He's from Hinton Township, and he was like the chairman of the board, so he ran all of the meetings and everything, and he's since retired. But he was there and presented the fire board with a Jim Imhoff Memorial Trophy. And he didn't know I was gonna be there. Is that cool or what? What it was is probably 50 years ago, there was an old fire hose on the old 36 fire truck that obviously didn't work anymore, and there was a big nozzle on it, big brass nozzle on it, and he gave it to Arnie to water his pigs with. And Arnie found it out there and he polished it all up, and it stands probably this tall, and it's just really neat now. Back then it was just a piece of junk, more or less. And he mounted it on some nice wood and put a plaque on it, and then the VFW does all of the service workers, policemen, firemen, and they do a Fireman of the Year. And so that will be the Fireman of the Year award, Jim Imhoff Memorial. So I was.
That's awesome. Jim was the fire chief for how many?
Jim was the fire chief. He was on the fire department 52 years. But
wow,
he was chief probably for 20 something.
Awesome.
20 something years.
Very nice.
So, and they also made note that I was the first woman to ever serve on the fire board. So,
About time.
so, yeah, I felt,
that was a lot of good information. Thanks for sharing
well, yeah, that was
Okay,
pretty cool.
you're good, then we'll move into zoning, so Dave, Kelsey dropped off his, event list, he's not able to be here. Just going forward, we're gonna have to have Dave at the start of the agenda, cause when we bumped our meetings to the second Monday, he's got another township, so it didn't work out with our attorney being here for him to be able to still make it, so he, dropped off his list, so we had one permit, for a home edition that was approved, and then he had, two of the previously noted, issues with violations, 11565 Elm, that had the unplated vehicle, he said that's compliant now. 6180 James Drive was compliant, he has burn piles, so they must have cleaned up something. And then this other one's still outstanding, 11589 Juniper, that's been on there for a while, he gave them another blight ticket on July 26th, but this was the one where I think this guy has a bench warrant or something, and so, again, that one will probably, just have to see what happens. So that's the zoning report. Is there any land divisions going on, Marcy?
There is not, just one phone call, from a citizen asking if a split was possible on a property just north of town here, and he did not have enough property to split that.
Okay.
But that was it for the month.
Okay. Moving into planning commission, so you guys have your September 11th meeting we kind of talked about, and Leslie's gonna be there, so it sounds like maybe the lake residential might have to go on hold.
Yeah, I can give you, the lakefront residential ordinance, the rough draft,
You got it,
we got it done,
Okay.
yes, but we're not gonna turn it into attorney yet, cause we got some more.
Okay.
So we're turning it into- And then there's two questions, so I mean, if that's gonna fit in nice, I mean, we're gonna have to go right on to what she's gonna
Okay.
do, but, the two questions you had for me to bring back was the RV camper seasonal, and you wanna know what the book said, and it does. Our ordinance says recreational equipment may be used for living or housekeeping purposes for a period not exceeding 14 days in any calendar year. And Marcy brought up, she was in the audience, but she brought up that, being real estate, people are wanting, bring a camper and stay in it. She said there is seasonal, other ones have seasonal, you can go from like April, whatever date we wanna put on, and you can be there for,
Temporary.
yeah.
Is our ordinance allow for that?
That's what we're gonna look
Okay,
into.
you're gonna look
That's what we said we was working on it, but I mean, that was that question, and the other one was the blight vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't know, is Ginger writing this, now that was section 328, Ginger, number 3 is what, in our ordinance, and then for the blight and vehicles, section 329, storage and repair of vehicles, it says, inoperable or unlicensed vehicles and vehicle parts shall be stored inside the building, provided however, the AR district, 2 vehicles may be stored in the rear yard with no time limitation for said storage. And then it also says procedures or projects exceeding 48 hours in duration or which require the vehicle to be immobile or inoperable to exceed 48 hours shall be carried out within a garage. Only one such period shall be permitted within a single 30-day period. So this is where I always thought if it just had to be a licensed vehicle, but Dave says that even if it has a license plate that's licensed, current license, but yet like the headlights broke out or missing an engine, it's not inoperable. I mean,
Yeah, it's
it
still
needs to be
operating.
operated, even if it's on the road, I mean, you're gonna get pulled over for having a light broke out,
Yeah,
so that's why Dave's saying that,
the guy's compliant.
yeah, well, that's why he's saying it needs to be, I mean, it can't not have an engine and still have a, he can't tell that, but I mean.
Can't be
that's just-
sitting up on
yeah.
4 blocks.
Can't be sitting up, I mean, it's gotta be operable, otherwise it's gotta go in the backyard and then use it,
Okay.
so
Okay,
that's what's in
okay.
ordinance, and then, yeah, just our meeting September 11th, so whatever.
Okay, so just to confirm, so the lake residential draft is done, but you didn't wanna send it to the attorney yet, cause there's still 2 questions?
No, because we've got some other zoning ordinance, we didn't wanna just take that
Oh, okay,
towards,
so you could do all
yeah,
together.
so we wanna join them like we did
Good
before, it
idea,
saves.
okay. And then just quick note, the zoning board of appeals, the regular meeting that they had scheduled for August 6th was canceled due to lack of quorum. And plus I don't think they realized the election was that night when they scheduled that, so, there was no quorum. They will be likely scheduling a special meeting. It was just a meeting to kind of get together. They had their organizational meeting in January, and they wanted to do another meeting mid-year just to touch base, so, And then supervisor report, so, first up, assessing department. So, our assessors have notified us that they, are resigning effective, the end of this month. They're very, very nice about it, very, complimentary of working with the township. If you recall, we have Heidi, who has taken over as the head assessor. She lives in Kalamazoo, and she said it really kind of just came on the last couple weeks. She got offered a full-time job closer to home. So, and then Deb who was our assessor for many years, she was kind of phasing out, wanting to retire anyway, so, but they are working with us, through the end of August, they're gonna work on, actually Heidi's coming up here Friday to bring any kind of paperwork that she has and to turn in the keys, office keys. We need to, that's probably gonna be one of my number one priorities here, is, making some phone calls and finding out, how we go about this hiring process. We do have to have a certain, Heidi told me, a level 2 certification or higher based on our taxable value or, whatever the threshold is. So we have to pay special attention to make sure we're getting someone who is properly certified for our, I guess, our, thresholds. And, they did talk about that we should be posting something on the Michigan Assessors Association, and, but again, they're available to answer questions, help with all the transition. They want this transition to go as smoothly as possible, and timing wise, if there was gonna be a time, this is probably the best that it could be, because it's really just a matter of, we've already gone through July border review, and they're, kind of just starting into that season where they'll be doing their drive-bys and all that, so that'll be top priority here, coming up. Roads, got some good news today. Mark Christensen at the Road Commission, contacted me. He's been working with MDOT to see, what they would be willing to pay for repairs or paving on Youngman Road, because it's been getting so much use with M91 being shut down. And he told me, tentatively, that they are willing to make a contribution. He's working out the details, so he couldn't give me, an exact number, but it will likely be somewhere over $100,000 that they're willing to pay, for Youngman. Now that is, from Kendallville up to 46, so part of that's in Pine, but he said the majority of the repairs needed are in Cato. Next year, he said, they would use that money likely in October, he said, to pave stretches, fix the problem areas. And then next year, we will, probably need to do a chip and seal project, and he said that'd get us another 10-year life out of that road. So that was good to hear, because we weren't certain that MDOT was gonna put anything forward, but, that was really good news. The paving projects, I know they've got Satterley torn up. I haven't been down there recently, but to see if they've started paving it yet, but I know they're working on that. They've already done the work out to Honeymoon Heights, and we should be getting an invoice for that. I think they might have one kind of last thing to finish out there. The Youngman Road was done. The gravel projects would be toward the end of August, but otherwise, yeah, making good projects. If I missed one, there was the chip and seal at Honeymoon, Youngman, Satterley. I think I got it.
Gravel.
The gravel, okay, I'll double check that, but things are moving along for roads. Cemetery updates, so, if you check out our website, our tab for, our cemetery now has some really great information on there. Missy King at the Village, her father was a cemetery sexton, so she's, got some experience in that area. She, went through and updated, all of the, maps in the rosters, so people can look up where a loved one is buried, can see what plots are open, if somebody wants to purchase, so really did an awesome job, so make sure and check that out. She only charged us $500, she was on the bills list. Did a real good job with that. Tree quotes, that's gonna be a new business, I'm gonna skip that. The attorney did review our proposed sexton contract and came back with some really good comments and kind of got the conversations rolling about, how the insurance piece works, being that the sexton is a contractor, and also looking into the process for fees related to opening and closing graves and the monument setting and how that all flows or should flow, and I've been, in contact with Brian, we've been working together, and we're gonna, work on, we're not ready to finalize the contract. We kind of have to work in a couple other things, but, I think we're on the right path there. Something to the board here in the future on that. Legal, one thing I did make a quick call to the attorney, the other day, just to make sure we're doing this the right path forward, but we are, I would say, probably one of the fewer townships in our general area that our taxable value is actually, quite high, because we have the village and, we have a lot of parcels. And we have tripped the threshold, to where we have to publish a synopsis of our minutes in the newspaper. And, we're a little behind on that. I think Todd always just posted it in the Lakeview paper, our minutes, cause it was free. But we're supposed to actually put a summary. We don't have to do the whole thing. So, I'm gonna work with Ginger to get a synopsis going back to our May, I think 9th meeting, was a special meeting, and, we're gonna have to publish that. We did vote for the Daily News to be our newspaper of record, so there'll probably be some cost there. So I'll be working on that. Audit, the financial statement audit for fiscal year 6/30/24. That is scheduled for the auditor to be on site, Monday, August 19th. So, working on getting all that, prepared, and she was all for getting it out of here by September 30th. So I think we should be on target for that. And I did get the qualifying statement finally filed for last fiscal year, so we've got all that approved. Basically just, we had to be able to support how we answered some questions, and we've gotten that taken care of. So we'll be needing to file that again once she gets the audit done, and we'll be on time this year. Events and meetings, so August 20th, that is next Tuesday, we have the Montcalm MTA meeting that Cato and Belvedere are jointly hosting, at McKenna's. We need the RSVP for any board members that wanna go. The speaker is the Register of Deeds. We need that RSVP by Thursday at 2:00. So being that we're hosting, it might be good to show up to this one. But let Ginger, if you would let Ginger know, we can get that. I will say I plan on being there, so you can put me down. It's at 6:00, is when the dinner would start, and then the speaker after. So, we do have, so we don't have to front any money on that, but we, as far as drinks, we have to provide, I think Dutch has some coolers, we're gonna, use the Igloo coolers, and I'm just gonna get some lemonade. We'll just go use that, because they weren't able to fit in the budget for the plate, cost per plate to get drinks included in that. So, but that's on the Montcalm MTA sets that. So we need to look into that further in the future. Other events, Montcalm County, so we got a July 9th letter from the county indicating that they will be creating a materials management plan regarding recycling. And they have to notify townships, and said if we wanted to, we could post it on our website. So I did have Ginger add that to our website. I have it here, but just basically telling when they're gonna meet, and that those are open to the public, I believe. But anyway, that's on our website. And then the Montcalm Community Advancement Committee, which now replaces the Planning Commission. There was an article in the Daily News a little while back about they had reached out to townships wanting to know what the townships expected of that committee, what our vision was. And it was kind of during that time when we had a lot of turnover going on. So I don't think very many townships responded, maybe one or two. But I thought maybe in the future, Darren Dode from the village is on that committee. Maybe we could invite him to one of our meetings and just kind of fill the board in on what their vision is, and then that might help us understand what maybe we want from them, I guess, too.
See what they're looking for, yeah.
So maybe I'll reach out to him, and see if maybe he wants to come to one of our meetings. And then last event, Montcalm Economic Alliance, which, is separate from the county. It's not, I don't think it's, they're their own entity. They have a meeting coming up on August 28th at 3 p.m. at the Montcalm ISD Career Center. If anyone's interested in attending, I want to make that known, and I forwarded you guys their newsletter if you want to look through all that old business. Community center cleaning quotes. So you guys should all have a summary. We got 3 quotes. We have Cleaning Solutions Customized LLC out of Greenville, Town and Country Cleaning LLC out of Lakeview, and individual, Karen, I believe it's, Lake?
Lock.
Call it? Lock. Okay. So the only one that actually came to the building to look it over before they gave the quote was Cleaning Solutions Customized LLC. And, the owner came out, she's very nice. She said, she thought that this would be a monthly job. We had originally talked about, well, we'll have somebody come out and do the majority of the cleaning, and then just do twice a month, and then, once a month do the windows. And she said she really didn't see the need for somebody to be here, based on the usage level and what's, how much it gets used. She said this would be a recommended monthly cleaning. So you can see their quote per cleaning was $120 for all services, including the windows. And so that totals down to $1,440. If we did the semi-monthly cleanings, obviously that's way out of our budget. That would be the $2,800. Town and Country, they submitted theirs. If they just want a basic clean, which is everything, I think, but the windows, was $115. With the windows, it's $135. So I did a monthly cleaning only on $135 is $1,620. And then Karen Locke, she said that for her, she has to provide the cleaning supplies, which that's what we, I guess, with the other two also, they provide the cost of the supplies is in those numbers. She would say $100, and she would come twice a month for $100. So, price-wise, that, I guess is, when you look at it from, if she came here twice a month. Both of the Cleaning Solutions Customized, they, are fully insured, she said. Town and Country is working on getting insurance, and, I think it's just one person right now. She did say she would be getting employees, where the other Cleaning Solutions, they have employees. And then Karen, she's just a sole proprietor, she does not have, carry insurance. So, as far as the monthly, I guess, if somebody's renting this and the bathroom's looking a little rough, I have no problem wiping something down or cleaning, but do you have anybody else have any thoughts, or?
But yeah, I guess the Cleaning Solutions comes once a month and they do everything, they do the whole,
Yep, they will
and they
dust
bring
the
their own-
baseboard.
Yeah, they bring their own supplies.
Supplies, they will do the windows, she's very, her, you could tell she had a cleaning eye.
Yeah.
She would be like looking up, we would do this, it was very much a comprehensive cleaning.
Okay.
Yep. And they would be willing to also stock, the toilet paper and stuff, but I told them we're around here enough, we kind of keep an eye on that ourselves.
Yeah, I see them not give anybody access to your supply closet.
I did like that they came out here and looked at it, just thought that was good.
Well, and being insured, that helps too.
Yep.
That's always good.
Yeah, the insurance, being that this is a business, so to speak, commercial, we're government, but it's, having the insurance is important, I think, to do that. Anybody else have any questions? Now, from a budget standpoint, so we had only budgeted for cleaning costs $1,000, and we're 2 months into the fiscal year. Previously, we paid Joyce, I think, $10 a cleaning, but I don't know that it was as comprehensive a cleaning as what we're gonna be getting.
Right.
And that was, so we paid $740 for cleaning last year. So, my proposal, would like to go with Cleaning Solutions for the monthly cleaning at a cost of total for 12 months, $1,440. Obviously, this fiscal year, we probably, maybe if they came this month, we'd save ourselves a month. But we would need to probably do a line item adjustment. I don't think we have to because we budget by the cost center, but I think I would wanna do it just for tracking purposes. But we have 1,000 budgeted. We have supplies budgeted of 1,500, and we only, so far we've spent $89 on getting the new flags out there for the center. And last year, for 12 months, we spent like $780, but the bulk of that was for our paper products, for toilet paper. And so I would say we could move $500 out of that 1,500 for supplies and move it into the cleaning contractor cost to give it 1,500, and that would cover us for that line item. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion that we hire, actually one other thing. This is a month-to-month agreement. They don't make you sign a service contract or anything. Either party can cancel. So just a quick note. And that was really the case for all three of them. They did not have a contract to sign.
So somebody would meet them here and let them in, correct?
Yeah, I guess we would have to figure, they do clean in Lakeview, certain days, and I know Ginger's gonna be setting some hours, clerk
I
hours.
mentioned that, they're on the calendar.
Oh, you set your, okay, so maybe we could work it out with them so that they could be here at a time, you know, and it's probably only gonna be 1, maybe 2 hours that they would be here. There wasn't anything else. Okay, back to the motion. I'm gonna make a motion that we hire Cleaning Solutions Customize LLC at a cost of $120 for monthly cleaning.
I'll support.
Is there support for that? Okay. Further discussion?
That's two cleanings, I'll take that, Randy has one.
No, they're coming once a month.
So do we wanna schedule it for normally the second week of the month is our busy, you know, Township boards here and planning commission. You know what I mean, schedule it for like that week, the end of that week or something, you know?
My hours are the second Friday, I mean, I'm here on Mondays, every Monday, but the second Friday of each month, I come in all day.
So
Well, that would be a good one.
work, you see what I mean?
Yep.
Second Friday.
Second Friday of the month.
So let's talk to them about coming in the
Yeah.
second Friday.
Yeah,
Yep.
if they're in Lakeview that day, you know, they're already in Lakeview.
Just
So-
thinking that.
So you would be here that Friday? is
That
that-
always the second, yeah, I put that on there because I am anyway, so
Okay.
just getting ready for this meeting, more or less.
All right, is there any further discussion? Oh, and just for reference, they also clean Maple Valley, so they did come with a reference.
You know, I mean, when you have elections, that's the first Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the busiest, but I mean, that's only twice a year, I mean.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
And if we got something big going up, I'm sure we can just get them, like when they do their fall, Lakeview does their Christmas thing during that first weekend, might want them
Something
right
or
after
something
that,
like that,
you know, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they
So,
would be
Yeah,
flexible.
this one's month, yeah, kind of based around the activity here.
Yeah, I'm good.
Any further discussion? Okay, we'll do roll call. Myers,
Yes.
Rushmore,
Yes.
Imhoff?
Yes.
Burnwell?
Yes.
Clark Hubbard, yes. And then I will do another motion to make a line item adjustment to move $500 out of the community center supplies account, 265-727. I have this for you. And add it to account 265-702, called wages cleaning, probably rename that, but anyway. So moving from 500 from supplies to 500 in the wages cleaning. Is there support on that?
Support.
Okay, motion been made and supported. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. All right, new business. So, again, you have a summary in front of you. So we had Bunker Tree Service and Imhoff's Forestry. So I went out and met with each one of them individually and let them walk it without, inputting on what trees. And they both pretty much came back with the same trees. Imhoff had one extra tree, so he had, in the quote for him, it was eight trees, which included 6 removals and 2 trims. And that also includes 3 stump grindings, which only the interior stumps get ground down. If they're on the exterior, left them in the past, because otherwise you have to mow around the ones on the interior. Fully insured. He also said he would clean up any limbs that he'd be, if he's out there and hey, there's a dangerous limb there, he would be willing to, just knock it down. And because the cemetery sexton, I also met with him out there, and he mentioned neither one of Bunker or Imhoff's brought a pine that could use some cleanup. But then Bunker, he had 7 trees to service, 5 removals and 2 trims. He has to subcontract out the stump grindings, and he only had 2 interior trees, and so he said throw 150 on there because they're smaller pines, I guess. So his total quote with that added in was $4,150. Again, that's servicing 7 trees. Imhoff's was $4,650, servicing 8 trees. It's clear out there, and they were both very professional, I could tell that, they could have easily added 10 trees probably to this, or maybe not 10, but another 5 trees, but it's like, these are the worst, these are the ones that you should get out of. It really hasn't done a lot of maintenance out in the cemetery. The township hasn't for quite some time, and if we don't start maintaining these, we're gonna have a mess at some point. I did take some pictures. If the board wanted to see, they're on my phone. I was gonna try to print them, but I didn't get to it. But I think we need to go with one here. Looking at the budget, so we have 3,000 budgeted for cemetery maintenance supplies, but we just had the 500 to Missy to do the digitization of records that got charged to that supplies. And last year we spent just shy of $1,700, mainly for the village, use of the village's wood chipper and sand, dirt,